Hey everyone, Zach here with GP Cycleworks, and today we're at Seminole Power Sports in Sanford, Florida. Thanks to our friend Spyder Dave, who's letting us work on this 2024 Spyder F3S. As far as we know it, we're the only ones who make a windshield and mounting hardware for this bike. So today we're going to do an installation video to show us how to put that hardware on this bike. If that's news to you and you've never heard of our windshield and mounting hardware, then go watch our general product video where we answer product specific questions, whereas this video is mainly going to be how to install our parts on the bike. Alright, so to get you started, we're going to do a general overview of the things that you need to bring to the installation table. First thing you'll need is a flathead screwdriver. Pretty common, pretty easy to get. Second thing you'll need is a T30 bit for installing these side brackets. So the T30 driver and a flathead screwdriver, those are the only tools you need to bring to the table. The rest of the stuff will come in the box. We've got our side brackets which mount up on the upper holes on the windshield. We've got our center bracket which mounts on the lower part of the windshield. And then we've got all the hardware that you need split out by each step with extras included. So it's pretty easy. You pretty much just follow the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is the easiest way to install this windshield. So let's get to it and we'll get this windshield installed. Okay, so step 1 is install our center brackets on the bike. This is going to be our center bracket. This is really the preferred orientation, although you really could install it either way. The biggest trick to this is that you have to put one side in and then pull the bike out a little bit. Spread this apart just a little bit to get it to go in there. And then you've got this installed, and from there we will use our long bolts and washers from our step 1 bag. These threads are really long just because you need to be able to reach the threaded insert. This whole assembly should be pretty tight, but this does have some hexes on it, so if you need to put a wrench here to be able to tighten this down, you can, but most of them are going to be pretty tight on there, so you're really just tightening this outside bolt. Alright, so the next part, step 2, is going to be installing our side brackets on the bike. We give you plenty of hardware here, lots of options to choose from. But pretty much we will put a bolt and a washer on the front end, and then put a nut and a washer on the back side of the bracket. So they're marked left and right, and the cap is going to sit on the bike like that. So pretty much our left bracket's going to be on the left side of the windshield with the short-sided hole up top. The main trick with this general installation is most of the stuff you don't need to over tighten or even tighten all the way until you have everything installed on the bike. So we'll just slowly get these started. Also, if you have a second set of hands, that is a big help when you're first getting started because everything wants to move around on you. Yeah, I got it. Like I said, it's a little easier having a second set of hands, just really someone to hold the bolts for you while you get the first one started. After you get the first one started, the second one's a lot easier. All right, so that is step 2. So we've got our windshield assembly here with the Spyder brackets, and we are going to install this on our center bracket, which is already on the bike. Easy part. See, you don't need to tighten everything with a screwdriver yet. We're really just getting everything finger tight until we get it all installed because there's a lot of moving parts on here. All right, so now the center, step 3 is done, the center bracket's installed, and we'll move on to step 4. So right now the center bracket's the only one installed. Our windshield's got quite a bit of movement in it. So we are going to take this bracket and pretty much pull it back tight and install this Torx lag screw into the hole on the side of the gauge cluster. It's a little tight, that's why you don't want to tighten up the windshield too much so that you got room for the brackets. So we want to interrupt this video and explain a little more about these large M6.81 plastite Torx screws that come from Can-Am. This is actually what they recommend for the installation on this product, especially if you've got a 24 and 25 bike. If you've got an earlier generation bike, please let us know, because you'll have machine threads on the side where these side pieces mount. If you've got the newest 24, 25 generation, you'll have these Torx screws, which are much tighter installation than the machine thread. Because really, if you take a look inside the channel on the side of the gauge cluster, it'll just be a smooth plastic channel. And Can-Am uses these kinds of hardware for a lot of their other products too. But you are actually cutting threads into this plastic channel. So it is a much tighter, requires more torque getting this bolt in. So we just want to cover that and help explain it, that, you know, if you try to put it on there and you're getting some resistance, that is normal. You can just pretty much take that all the way through. Only the first time you'll have that resistance. After that, it'll be smoother once it finds the threads and threads its way in. So it is a much tighter install than just regular nuts and bolts. So we definitely recommend using a ratchet with the T30 bit, the same way we have installed there, and then it's pretty tight there, so that's good. So same thing, we've got to pull our bracket down and back in order to get it. So this lag screw is really cutting threads in this smooth plastic channel. And there you go, here you've got it. So everything's really installed. See, it's pretty tight actually. So I'll go back and just make sure the center bolts are good and these upper brackets are good, and we'll have the install completed. All right, so as you can see, that installation was relatively easy. You know, live time, that was about 12 minutes getting everything installed. We include all the hardware and everything you need. Like I said, one of the biggest things that's helpful is a second set of hands in order to put it on, but it's definitely possible to do even without that. If you have other questions about product, why we made this hardware, what it fits, then please check out our other product video, which is linked below, and that should answer the rest of your questions about our hardware and what it fits, and why it's beneficial to have this windshield on this bike. So once again, we're going to do shout out to Spyder Dave at Seminole Power Sports. They've got 40,000 square feet of all Can-Am products, but Spyder Dave specializes in Can-Am Spyders here in Sanford, Florida. He does a lot of remote business as well, so if you're in the market for an actual bike, give him a call. If you're looking for a windshield, give us a call and we will get you sorted out. So thanks for riding, we'll talk to you later.